Okay, so this is part 3 on the 95 Geo Tracker project. And this is kind of a catch up and also what's going on forward with posting information on this. So, I got that shield out. Still need to cut that out just a little bit, but it's nothing too crazy. And yes, there's a bunch of junk laying in the tub right now because I have some rain coming through soon and I don't want none of the stuff to get wet. It was off the carport, but I had to move it onto the carport, so that's why there's kind of just junk stacked up in here right now. But what I got done today I got the metal yesterday, all the metal I needed to fabricate stuff. I have all of the 1/8 inch metal cut out, which this metal is strictly and only going to be used for structural points like the rock rails, the support, this support, the supports in the rear, the support right there, and then the support in the front right there. And that's basically where I'm at on this. I'm going to be very busy like the next 5 or 6 days, so there probably isn't going to be a video or any updates until then. But last thing I need to actually start welding these panels in is I need to get a metal bender to bend this because I cannot get it to budge because it is some really thick, strong steel. So after I get a metal bender, I'll be able to start bending that metal and actually shaping it to the shapes I need, start welding them in. So in the rear, same as the other day, this is right here. The body is just a little bit that way, but I'm gonna move it back and reset the jacks before I actually start welding anything. This was just to hold it up so I can cut all the rust out and have space. I was able to fabricate all of this. This piece thankfully is simple, so I do have the piece that actually goes right under here all the way over to here, and this piece already fabricated. Same thing with this one. I already have this fabricated and this piece fabricated. I just need to sand, wire brush, and I can weld those in. The actual cover part is going to be easy to put into. Like I said, this is probably the easiest part of doing this whole little project, restoration, rust repair, is going to be that one right there. On this side, I was able to cut the rest of the rock rail garbage out. I was able to cut that out, cut these out with that up there. Honestly, what I'm probably gonna do with those two teeny tiny little holes right there is I'm just gonna fill it with the welder. It's too tiny to put actually something up to it and weld it in, so I'm probably just gonna fill those in with the welder after I get the wire brush on them and get rid of all the thin rust that's around them. Actually see how big the hole is. All this is going to be not bad at all. I have the proper floor pans. I got them today, so I'm gonna be putting those in. I'm not gonna be putting the whole floor pans in. I'm just gonna cut them out to what's missing from them and then weld that in because I don't feel like cutting all this out when this is all still really good, solid floor pan. And if I don't gotta cut it out, I'm not cutting it out. Up here in the front, like I said, I got all that out on the rock rail. I'm going to be, once I get that metal bender, I'm gonna fabricate this other piece that goes from here to the actual rock rail. First thing, like I said, after I get the metal bender is I'm gonna actually fix the rock rails. And after the rock rails are all fixed up, then I'm gonna start fabricating these mounts, and I'm gonna start from the front and work my way to those rear mounts. Those are gonna be the final things I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all the structural points put in after I fix the rock rails. Then after I do that, I'm gonna line the body back up, weld in those new body bolts, and drop it down and actually bolt it to the chassis. After that's done, all the structural points will obviously be done, so I can start doing the floor pans all up in here, and then the actual, I call them beauty pieces, the pieces you see, which is going to be this, all this right here. This is probably the hardest thing to fabricate because it's going to come out in almost an arch right here, but kind of not an arch. I don't know, it's going to be really hard because I'm going to make this piece coming off here and this whole piece one piece of metal that's going to go over the 1/8 on the bottom. So that's going to be really nice. The last thing I truly need to cut out, and then everything will be ready for welding after I get all the metal bent and everything sitting properly where I want it, is this rust hole right here. It's nothing crazy. I'm just probably just gonna shink, and put in the new metal. So that won't be bad at all. Surprisingly, that's the only rust that shows through on the body. I know it's hard to believe, but it is, you know. There's no rust up on these wheel wells. Somehow I've absolutely no clue. Same thing on the other side. Same thing with all these external pieces you'd see like right here. Same thing with the stuff up front. I'm kind of surprised those didn't rust out, but other places on this car did. But I'm gonna get it all fixed. I took the heat shield off. Heat shield is somewhere right in here under all this junk. Yeah, here it is, right here. So I'm going to sand that, get those brackets off, clean that up really nice. After I get the floor pans in and then the center mount that goes right here, I'm going to weld those brackets up to those and then bolt it back on, and that will look really nice. I'm very happy I was able to save that because a lot of those rot away too. But that one, once again, is fine, which makes no sense how that's fine and other parts of the car are fine that usually rust, and places that don't usually rust are completely eaten out on this thing. But it is what it is. I need to get this cut, so it's going to be cutting this and cutting that, and then after I've cut those, you know, we're in business, you know. So rock rails, cut out those two pieces, get a metal bender, and then after I get all my brackets and everything shaped up really nice and clean, I'm going to do all the prep, which is wire wheeling, sanding in the surface, good mating surface for the weld. And then I'm gonna weld up all the supports and drop the body back down on the chassis. And then after that, it's just gonna be welding up the floor pans and then the thin 1/16 metal, which is gonna be all the external pieces you see. And we'll be great. We'll be ready to rock. It's gonna be paint after that, paint and primer. And then that's gonna be the end of this part of the project on it. So I'm looking forward to that, but like I said, I won't have a video up. Probably soonest it will be is like in 5 days from when I post this. Latest will be like 7 days from when I post this. I just gonna be working a lot of hours and also have other things I need to do aside from just putting all my time and free time into the car.